You see, Sub-Zero, you can trust a sorcerer sometimes. Hello, people! It's been a while since I've talked about anything Mortal Kombat. So I'm going to try something different now. So I'm moving away from the movies, the animated movies, and I'm going to do my own takes on the what if in the Mortal Kombat franchise. And I've dubbed it What If-ality. So give it a catchy name. What If-ality. And I've always thought, what would happen if it was actually Scorpion that retrieved the sacred map of elements for Quan Chi? So we'll try and get into some details on that if we can, and speculation, and just see what we come up with. See if we can come up with some interesting takes. So Mortal Kombat Mythologies, Sub-Zero. Now, I don't care what any of you lot think, but I think it's one of my favourite Mortal Kombat games. A lot of people, when it first come out, even now, say that how hard it is. They can't judge the timing. And for me, I found it quite easy. I actually really enjoyed the game. And I used to blitz through it. I used to play it every day. I used to complete it every day. And then it got to the point where it started to get boring because it was just too easy. So, still on my PlayStation, the original PlayStation, I bought myself an Explorer FX. If you know what one of them is, you can connect it to the back of your PlayStation, and it's like a cheat cartridge. And at the time, there was no cheats for this game at all. There was nothing. But with the FX, you could look for your own. It had an X assist with it. So you could look for numbers. So say if you got like 10 lives, you would look for the number 10. And then it'd go, you got 50 million of these codes. And it's like, okay. So you lose a life, so you're down to 9. Then you punch into the X assist. Either the number 9, look for the number 9, or the value is less. So I'd type the value is less. And then it'd come up a few others. It'd knock loads of numbers off, and it'd come up with about 10 left. Then you do it again, go down to 8. Then you'd say it's gotten less. Then you come with the number 8. What you do then is lock in those numbers, and then when you play the game and you lose a life, it still stays at 8. So with that logic, I used to do the same with his health bar. So I'd never lose health. His special bar, I'd never lose special. And the best one is, throughout the game, from the beginning, all you could do was the one move, which is the freeze move. So I would look for the values to bump up and get all of his abilities at the start, because it was a point system. The amount of points you got would amount to your next skill. I would have all the skills from the very start. So I'd play it. And of course, I'd mess around with the game again, get to the end, and get the bloopers at the end by defeating the monster Shinnok. So I really enjoyed the game. And I thought, what would it be like if it was actually Scorpion that retrieved the map and killed Sub-Zero? How would that scenario go? I don't know whoever's played, if anyone has ever played on the other side. I don't know. So I'm going to do it now. I'm going to have a go, and then if it if other people like it and they want to do their own little spin, and they can. So I'm going to do my own. So we're going to get into it. So to the temple, you see Sub-Zero burst in. Scorpion's already there. Scorpion saying, the map is mine, and then laughs and then runs off. So Sub-Zero gives chase. At the end, you see the map, and Scorpion and Sub-Zero face off. But instead of Sub-Zero winning, Scorpion wins and kills Sub-Zero. What happens then? Scorpion, at this stage, is not a Spectre. He's a normal, mortal human being, an assassin. So he goes back to his clan, the Shirai Ryu. He goes back to his clan, gives the map to his masters, and Quan Chi ends up being there instead. So already it's a bit of a change. So now this is not this. The story is this. The story is this now. So there we go. So instead of it being about Sub-Zero retrieving the map of elements, it's now Scorpion. So, of course, I thought, how would this play out? How would it play out? So we've all seen the clips from the game, the live action clips of Quan Chi and Sub-Zero circling each other, and Quan Chi saying, "Oh, it was a shame that you come across Scorpion in the battle with those pesky Shaolin monks." And then Sub-Zero goes, "Scorpion was tipped off. If he wasn't there, there wouldn't have been a battle." So how would this have been reversed? Hanzo would have probably have turned to his master and gone, "Sub-Zero was tipped off. If he hadn't been there, there wouldn't have been a battle. You are responsible for this, sorcerer." And then you can imagine Quan Chi again saying to Hanzo, "Well, I have also retained Sub-Zero's services. In case you failed, I needed some assurance." Scorpion probably would have said exactly the same as what Sub-Zero said, in saying, "Your peace of mind almost cost me this mission." You never know. They're different personas. We don't know what will happen, but it's good to speculate. So you can imagine the master of the Shirai asking for payment, and he would have said, "What payment?" Probably, and he goes, "Oh yes, I almost forgot." So you can imagine he goes, "I almost forgot. The bones of your arch nemesis and leader of Sub-Zero's ninja clan." And then the bones. These wouldn't have been the bones of the arch nemesis of the Lin Kuei. These would have been the bones of the master of the Lin Kuei instead. And Quan Chi probably would have had the same deal going, where whoever retrieved the map, he would vanquish the other clan. So the other clan would have been destroyed instead. So now, how would it go from there? You can imagine Hanzo saying, "Well, what is this map for?" And then Quan Chi going about, "Well, there's it leads to my amulet, but I can't go get it because you need to go through the elements." With the same speech of I can't go get it myself because I'm not on good terms with the gods of your realm. So of course he probably would have sent Scorpion to get it, and instead of Sub-Zero climbing the mountain and getting to the top, to the entrance of the Wind Temple, we would have seen Scorpion instead. What's funny is, that's all well and good. Okay, everything's normal up until that point. But now we're going to get into some proper like details on how this probably would have turned out bad for Scorpion or Hanzo, because don't forget, what powers has Hanzo got at this stage? What has he got? Does he still have his spear? He didn't use it in the beginning of Mythologies. Is he just a ninja? Does he have any special abilities before he became a Spectre? We don't know. We can only speculate that he didn't. So, would this here, in front of the Wind Temple, would this be as far as he ever got? Would he have just died from here on out? We don't know. But should we get into some speculation of what could have happened? Or, sorry, what could have happened to lead up to this bit first? What if Quan Chi offered Scorpion some form of special abilities through his powers to help him get through these temples? But then we can speculate on what powers. Would he have had his fire ability? We don't know. Would he have had his teleport ability? We don't know. So, without knowing Hanzo's powers at the time, we can only speculate this is as far as he would have got. Would he have been able to fight off Fujin, the boss of this level, being a god of wind? Again, we don't know. But that's as far as I think he would have got, unless Hanzo had some sort of enhancement ability through Quan Chi at the time. Yeah, it's quite hard to think about. So I think that's as far as he would have got. Which I'm sorry to say that Hanzo as a normal mortal probably wouldn't have got anywhere to the next stage. Being being immortal and having no special abilities that we know of, being just a plain ninja. So, what powers could Quan Chi have given him? Could he have given him some sort of energy-based special abilities? It's an interesting thing to think about in terms of what would have Quan Chi have done to help Hanzo do his bidding on trying to retrieve the amulet. But what I also find interesting is that what would have happened to Sub-Zero after being killed? Because we know that Quan Chi was waiting for Hanzo in the Netherrealm and tried to play on his vengeance for knowing that his family and clan had been murdered, presumably by the Lin Kuei. What would have Quan Chi have said to Sub-Zero in the Netherrealm? would you have said the same thing? The Shiroryu and Scorpion took out the Lin Kuei and Sub-Zero's family. If he had one, what would he have said? And it's interesting to see a transformation from Sub-Zero into a Spectre, not a Wraith, as Noob Saibot is. So what would have Sub-Zero been? It wouldn't have been this. It would have probably been something totally different. See, so you can imagine that now Sub-Zero is the one with the rage, wanting vengeance. Would he now become a Spectre for Quan Chi? He wouldn't be a Wraith. Again, and he would come back with a totally different power set. What would that power set be? Would that be fire? Would it be Sub-Zero returning back as a Spectre with fire abilities? Again, it's an interesting thought process on what would have happened. All these changes could have altered the whole Mortal Kombat landscape through this one change in the games, at least. So Scorpion retrieving the map of elements, Quan Chi taking out the Lin Kuei, and Sub-Zero possibly coming back as something totally different. With Scorpion, as far as we know, still being alive and mortal, what would he have? What powers would Quan Chi have given him to try and get through these temples to retrieve the amulet? We really don't know, but it's a good place to try and get some fan fiction out there, especially with how the latest game, Mortal Kombat 11, has introduced timeline elements with many different ways things could have gone, and I would have liked to have seen this done a different way. The events of Mythologies, to see what would have happened if Scorpion would have got the map instead of Sub-Zero. It's a very interesting. It's interesting to me. I don't know what it is for you lot, but it's very interesting to me because I like a lot of fan fiction, and when it comes to these minor changes that could alter the entire landscape, something like this really interests me, especially from a game that I really enjoy. So it's a very interesting thing. What would have happened? So, Sub-Zero being the Spectre, having fire powers potentially through the help of Quan Chi, trying to feed his rage to bring on that power of stronger. But it's the Scorpion. It's the Scorpion part that would really baffle me on how would he get past the wind level and fight off Fujin? How would he fight off Fujin? So, would he even be a Mythology Scorpion? Would he be that? It's It's very interesting. So I don't think I've got anything else. I've kind of like blown through this in 20 minutes. But yeah, of course, like Quan Chi would have then had the Spectre Sub-Zero come back with him at some point and use him for the tournament. But would he have had the amulet, or would he then twist the Spectre Sub-Zero to do his bidding and go for the amulet instead? So I think that would have happened as well. I think that would have happened as well, because I don't see Hanzo getting anywhere past the wind level, being the mortal that he is. So Quan Chi would have to wait just a little bit longer for Sub-Zero's transformation, and then use him. I think that's what would have happened. So we've got a few people in here. We've got King Sayo. Thanks for coming in. Gabo, which is Ryu Kang from Twitter. Thanks, mate. Thanks for coming in. Chris German. Greetings, humans. If I pop myself back on. Bablam. Hello. German saying, I missed it. You're going to have to start again. No. Basically, all I've done is change one element from Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero. And that is, what if Scorpion killed Sub-Zero and retrieved the map of elements instead? Basically, I think the deal would have been the same as the Lin Kuei deal, where the payment would have been the extermination of the rival clan of the Lin Kuei. That's what I think. And then it would have been Quan Chi trying to get Hanzo to use the map to try and retrieve the amulet through the temples. So there we go. That's the easy part. Hanzo would have got to the gate of the Wind Temple, and I don't think he would have gotten past Fujin, because Hanzo, as far as we know, didn't have any special abilities. He was just a mortal. He was the best ninja on the planet at the time. But how far would that have got him? How far would that have got him? I don't think he would have got him very far at all. So then it would have been a wasted journey for him. But for Quan Chi, I think, because he plays both sides, he's been playing both clans off, and he would have waited just a little bit longer for the now Spectre Sub-Zero, because he would have used the same excuses on him that he did with Hanzo, in terms of, oh, it was Scorpion that killed your family and clan. Oh, get angry. Get angry. That's what I think. So he would have waited for his transformation and then used the Spectre Sub-Zero to blast through the temples to retrieve the amulet. So again, we would not have the Spectre Scorpion, and we would not have the Wraith Noob Saibot. So there's a lot of changes that would have happened with that one little change if Scorpion would have got the map instead, which is, fan fiction. I love it. It gets easy to a point, then you got to think, oh, shoot, what would have happened then? And then you got to think, hang on, Hanzo hasn't got any powers, so he ain't going to get very far. Chris German says, agreed, King So with the eye. Is that the eye like, You're right. So this is my change. This is I think what would have happened. I think Quan Chi would have still gotten the amulet through the Spectre Sub-Zero. Would Raiden turn up? Would he do anything at any point? Maybe he would have turned up at the end. But say at that moment when you see Sub-Zero just about to grab the amulet and then Quan Chi grabs it, Quan Chi would be there and take the Spectre Sub-Zero with him. So then Raiden would be like, oh, crap. Would it be the catalyst of Shinnok coming earlier? Could be. I reckon Shinnok attacking would have been a lot earlier because he would have had a lot more power. Or would he still wait for Earthrealm and Outworld to weaken each other through combat first? Would he still wait? And wait for Shao Kahn to be potentially out the way? So there's a lot of changes and it just branches off into all these little things that change. The whole universe just changes through this one little thing. It's a very interesting thing. So it'd be interesting to see if anyone else has an idea on another change that would have happened if this would have happened. Maybe, yeah, Shinnok coming earlier, probably. Would a Spectre Sub-Zero with new powers be potentially stronger than Spectre Scorpion? So it's a lot of things have changed, and he does get the noggin a jogging. It's definite. Chris says it's definitely an interesting spin. It is. So I'm going to be doing a lot. I've got a lot more. I've got a few more of these what-if-alities. There's a few more, and I'm trying to do changes that are significant, not like what would have happened if. Let's think of a weak moment. What would have happened if Goro would have killed Liu Kang instead? You know, I think we would have known then that, you know, Outworld would have won. But I want to get deeper into a potential Outworld win in the 10th tournament. I do want to get into that. So I'll leave that. And I'll probably put up a poll on what should I do next. And I'll see what people would want to hear first. Well, next. So I'm going to have to wait until then and see what people decide. And then I can start doing my thumbnail. I'm not going to do 5 or 6 different thumbnails and then hope for the best. I'll just do them on the fly. But yeah, I've got quite a few more. All interesting. With one being, I can't believe this hasn't been done. So I'm going to get into all of that soon. But with this, I just wanted to get this off my chest because it's been playing on my mind for quite a few years now. You know, Sub-Zero clonking out to Scorpion, and then, you know, what would have happened then? So there we go. I'm going to hit the half an hour mark. So I'm not going to let go to an hour because I've just blasted through it. It's too bad we didn't get any more people on to watch, because I would have liked to seeing people's questions. I'm still open to people coming on and chatting with me on the stream, so I'm still open to that. All you gotta do is ask, and I could just send a link. But we'll have to wait till next time and see what happens in this little What If-ality series I'm coming up with. I still think I like the name. I can't believe no one else has come up with that yet. So that's mine. And along with that, I'm going to let everyone go. And thanks for coming on, Chris, King, Ryu, and your view is mine. Thank you very much. See you later. Bye-bye.